Welcome back to English Pronounce Pro.
It's great to have you here again.
Our last chat summarized our channel's goal.
Yes, we're tackling those tough English words.
We also touched on common pronunciation traps.
Today we're diving much deeper into them.
What makes English pronunciation so difficult?
It is truly a complex linguistic landscape.
Can you elaborate on its specific challenges?
English has many historical influences. This leads to inconsistent spelling patterns.
So, words often don't sound as they look.
Exactly, that's a huge source of confusion.
Are there other major difficulties for learners?
The sheer number of distinct sounds is tricky. Many don't exist in other languages.
That makes sense for non-native speakers.
Also, English has a strong stress-timed rhythm.
How does that contrast with other languages?
Some languages are syllable-timed, like Spanish. This difference creates significant challenges.
So, it's more than just individual sounds?
Indeed, rhythm and flow are very important.
It sounds like a real obstacle course.
But totally conquerable with the right tools.
Moving from general difficulties, let's discuss vowels.
English vowel sounds are incredibly varied.
Why is there so much variability in vowels?
We have many more vowel sounds than letters. Often one letter represents several sounds.
Can you give an example of this confusion?
Consider the letter A in different words. Think of cat, father, and take.
They all sound very different, I hear it.
There are sound shifts significantly in each.
Is it just single letters or combinations too?
Combinations also add to the complexity. Take OU in through, tough, or bought.
Those are incredibly different vowel sounds.
Yes, through has a long O sound. Tough uses a shorter sound. Bought uses a long or sound.
How do learners overcome this vowel maze?
Focus on specific sound distinctions. Listen carefully to minimal pairs.
Are diphthongs part of this variability?
Absolutely, they blend two vowel sounds. Words like boy or cow contain diphthongs.
So, one sound glides into another one?
Precisely, requiring smooth transitions.
That adds another layer of complexity.
Understanding these patterns is key.
Next, let's talk about consonant clusters.
Consonant clusters can be very challenging.
What exactly makes them so difficult?
Many languages don't have such groupings. English can stack several consonants together.
Can you provide some common examples?
Think of strengths or scrubbed.
Strength has a lot going on there.
Yes, SDR, NGTH, and S are all clusters.
How about another intricate example?
Glancing or 12 are good instances. The GL and TW can be tricky to articulate.
It requires precise tongue and mouth movements.
Indeed, breath control is also very important.
Do these clusters appear at the start of words?
They can be initial, medial, or final. Splinter begins with a 3-consonant cluster.
What about the end of words then?
Text or glimpsed have final clusters. The CT and MPSD can be hard to manage.
How can learners improve these clusters?
Break them down into smaller segments. Practice each sound slowly and deliberately.
Is linking also important for these?
Yes, smooth linking prevents choppiness. It makes speech sound more natural.
Moving on to silent letters next.
Silent letters create widespread confusion.
Why do English words have silent letters?
Many are relics of older spellings. They were once pronounced, but sounds changed.
So, spelling didn't evolve with pronunciation?
Precisely, creating this modern discrepancy.
Can you give some typical examples?
Think of the K in no or knife. The B in doubt or thumb is silent.
The helt in salmon oars walk is tricky.
Yes, learners often pronounce that L. Another common one is the P in psychology.
And the W's in answer or sword.
Those are classic silent W examples.
How does one learn which letters are silent?
There are some general patterns to observe. But often, it's about memorization.
Are there rules for silent E at the end?
Yes, a silent E can change vowel sounds. Compare mat and mate for instance.
That eat makes the long, it seems.
That's a very common and useful rule.
So, it affects preceding vowel pronunciation.
Exactly, it helps determine the vowel quality.
Let's discuss homophones and homographs.
These word types can trip up many speakers.
What's the main difference between them?
Homophones sound alike but have different meanings. They may or may not be spelled the same.
Like two, and two, for example.
Perfect, those sound identical but differ.
And what about homographs then?
Homographs are spelled the same way. However, they have different meanings and sounds.
Can you give an example of homographs?
Consider read, present tense, and read, past tense. Or bow for a not versus bow for an act.
The context must be crucial for these.
Absolutely, context is everything here. It helps clarify both meaning and pronunciation.
How does stress affect homographs?
Word stress can change the meaning entirely. Think of present, gift, versus present, to give.
The emphasis shifts for different meanings.
Yes, one is a noun, the other is a verb.
What about the word the minute as an example?
Minute, time, and minute, tiny, are homographs. Their pronunciations are quite distinct.
This is a common source of errors.
Awareness of these pairs is very important.
Next, regional accent differences are key.
English pronunciation varies greatly by region.
So, there isn't one correct accent?
That's right, many varieties are perfectly valid. Think of British English versus American English.
How do they differ most significantly?
Vowel sounds are often quite distinct. The R sound is also a major differentiator.
Do certain words sound completely different?
Yes, consider schedule or tomato. The stress and vowel sounds change.
What about Canadian or Australian accents?
They have their own unique characteristics. Vowel shifts and intonation patterns vary.
Does this make learning more challenging?
It adds a layer of complexity for learners. Exposure to different accents is beneficial.
Should learners pick one accent to mimic?
It's helpful to choose a primary model. However, understanding others is also vital.
So, listen widely but practice consistently.
That's excellent advice for all learners. It improves comprehension and adaptability.
Now, let's talk about non-native speaker struggles.
Non-native speakers face unique hurdles.
What are some primary difficulties they encounter?
Their native language influences their English. This is called language transfer.
Can you give an example of this effect?
Spanish speakers may struggle with B and V. Japanese speakers might confuse L and R.
This is due to different sound inventories?
Exactly, sounds not present in their L1. They have to develop new muscle memory.
Is the rhythm of English also a challenge?
Yes, sentence stress and intonation patterns. These can feel very unnatural at first.
How about understanding fast, natural speech?
Linking and reduction make it sound very fast. It's hard to catch individual words.
What common errors do they often make?
Misplaced word stress is a frequent one. This can change a word's meaning.
Like a record as a noun versus a verb?
Precisely, that's a perfect illustration.
How can learners overcome these hurdles?
Consistent practice is absolutely essential. Feedback from native speakers is invaluable.
Empathy from native speakers is also key.
It fosters a supportive learning environment.
Let's tackle the initial th sound dilemma.
The th sound is notoriously difficult.
Why is it so challenging for many?
It's quite rare in other languages. It requires placing the tongue between teeth.
Are there different kinds of th sounds?
Yes, there's a voiced and an unvoiced th. Voiced means vocal cords vibrate.
Like in the word this or that?
Exactly, you can feel the vibration there. The unvoiced th has no vibration.
As in a think all through, I assume?
You've got it, no vocal cord engagement.
Is tongue placement the same for both?
Yes, the tongue position is largely identical. The key difference is vocal cord vibration.
What's a common mistake learners make?
Often they substitute t, d, f, or v. Think might become think or tick.
That changes the meaning of the word.
Yes, clear articulation is very important.
How can one master this tricky sound?
Practice in front of a mirror. Feel the airflow and tongue position.
Are specific drills helpful for this?
Tongue twisters with th sounds help. Repetition builds muscle memory over time.
Now, let's explore I sound variations.
The English R is another complex sound.
Why are there so many odd variations?
Different accents pronounce it differently. Also, its position in a word matters.
How does American R differ from British?
American English is rhotic, pronouncing all rs. British English is non-rhotic generally.
So, a British speaker might drop the R?
Yes, especially at the end of words. Like in car or water, it often disappears.
This is a big difference for learners.
It certainly affects listening comprehension.
What about the sound itself in American English?
The American R is often bunched or retroflexed. The tongue curls back in the mouth.
Are there different ways to articulate it?
Some create the sound by bunching the tongue. Others curl the tip backwards.
Both produce the same general R sound?
Yes, as long as it sounds natural.
How do learners master the I sound?
Listen intently to native speakers. Experiment with tongue position carefully.
Are R-controlled vowels a separate issue?
Yes, they are another important aspect. There are changes the preceding vowel sound.
Like in bird or the work, for example?
Exactly, the vowel merges with the R quality.
Next, the schwa sound's importance.
The schwa sound is extremely common in English.
What exactly is the schwa sound?
It's an unstressed, neutral vowel sound. It sounds like a or a soft A.
Where does the schwa typically appear?
It's found in unstressed syllables of words. It helps maintain English's rhythm.
Can you give some typical schwa examples?
Think of the r in about or banana. Or the o in control or polite.
It reduces vowels to a simpler sound.
That's right, it's a form of vowel reduction. It helps to speak more quickly and fluently.
Why is the schwa so important to master?
It makes your pronunciation sound more natural. It also aids in comprehension for listeners.
Does it make English harder to learn?
Initially, yes, because it's unpredictable. Any vowel can become a schwa.
So, spelling is not a reliable guide.
Not at all, you must listen for word stress. Only unstressed vowels can become schwas.
How can learners effectively practice this?
Identify stressed and unstressed syllables. Consciously reduce unstressed vowels to schwa.
It seems like a crucial element of fluency.
It absolutely is, a hallmark of native speech.
Let's talk about the offy family of words.
The off combination is notoriously tricky.
Why does it cause so much difficulty?
It has many different pronunciations. There are no consistent rules for it.
Can you list some common roffle words?
Sure, consider though, through, and tough. Also bow, cough, and thorough.
Each of those sounds completely different.
Exactly, they all have unique vowel sounds. Though has a long O sound.
An through has a long O sound.
Correct, like the word blue or two. Tough sounds like uff, a short r.
What about cough and bow?
Cough sounds like off, with a short o. Bow rhymes with cow, a diphthong sound.
And a thorough sounds like murrow.
You've captured the extensive variation.
How do learners navigate this chaos?
Memorization is often the best approach. Practice each word individually with care.
Are there any small patterns to look for?
Not really, it's mostly individual word learning. Context can sometimes offer a slight hint.
It sounds like a real English anomaly.
It's certainly a testament to language evolution.
Now for an overview of common word traps.
Many words frequently trip up learners.
Which words come to mind first?
Colonel is a classic, it's not colonel. It sounds like colonel, which is unexpected.
And the pronunciation itself is often mispronounced?
Indeed, people often say pronunciation. It's actually pronunciation, with a schwa.
How about words like epitome or anemone?
Epitome sounds like epitome. Anemone is often simplified to just anemone.
What about acquire or rendezvous?
Choir sounds like choir, not choir. Rendezvous is a loanword from French. It keeps its original French sounds, rendezvous.
Library and February are common traps.
Yes, often people omit the first R in library. And February can lose its first R sound too.
What about the debris and segue?
Debris has a silent S, sounding like dbree. Segue also drops the GU, becoming segue.
These lists highlight many inconsistencies.
Constant exposure and practice are vital.
Let's cover minimal pairs awareness.
Minimal pairs highlight subtle sound differences.
What makes them so useful for learning?
They are pairs of words that differ by one sound. This single sound changes the entire meaning.
Can you give an example of minimal pairs?
Consider ship and sheep, differing by a vowel. The vowel length is crucial here.
So, a slight change completely alters meaning?
Absolutely, it's a very common source of errors.
What about consonant minimal pairs then?
Think of fan and van, or pat and bat. The initial consonant sound is the only difference.
This distinction seems very important.
It is, because mispronouncing can cause confusion. It can change your intended message entirely.
How can learners improve their perception?
Practice discriminating between these sounds. Listen carefully to the subtle differences.
Are specific exercises helpful for this?
Yes, listening drills for minimal pairs. Repeating them slowly and distinctly.
What about vowel sounds like badu and bed?
Those are excellent examples of vowel minimal pairs. The shorter and short E must be distinct.
So it's about precision in articulation.
Yes, paying attention to tiny phonetic details.
Finally, let's discuss stress versus rhythm basics.
Word stress and sentence stress are fundamental.
Word stress and sentence stress are fundamental.
Yes, they shape the rhythm of English speech.
Absolutely. Now, let's apply these principles to some truly challenging words.
Perfect. We have a list of notorious English pronunciation puzzles.
Where should we begin with these linguistic labyrinths?
Let's start with a classic kitchen conundrum, Worcestershire.
Ah, the famous sauce. That one trips up almost everyone. right?
Exactly. The key is to simplify. Think Worcestershire.
Worcestershire. That sounds much more manageable.
Yes. Break it down. Woos like wool, tur like bitter.
So, Worcester. That's the first major chunk.
Then add sheer at the end, like in Fisher.
Worcestershire. It's like two distinct parts.
Many native speakers even drop the ter completely.
Just a wuxia? That's even simpler.
Precisely. It demonstrates how language often reduces sounds.
Is the shire?
Shire suffix always weakens. We saw similar patterns. Language finds shortcuts in speech.
So it's not just about individual sounds then?
Exactly. We've tackled many specific tough words. We looked at unique sound sequences.
Right, like those complex spellings we broke down before.
But pronunciation goes beyond just individual phonemes. It's about the entire word's rhythm.
You mean how some parts of a word stand out more?
Yes, the emphasis within a word. This is crucial for clarity. It also affects meaning.
How does syllable prominence change what a word means?
Consider present. The noun form has first syllable prominence. The verb form emphasizes the second.
So present versus present? That's a huge difference.
Precisely. Misplaced emphasis can confuse your listener. It's a common challenge.
Are there specific rules for where to place the prominence?
There are patterns. For two-syllable nouns, it's often the first. For two-syllable verbs, the second.
But English is full of exceptions. Is this rule always reliable?
Not always. That's the challenge. For instance, compound nouns often stress the first part.
Like greenhouse versus greenhouse?
Yes, the word greenhouse is one unit. The other is two separate words.
What about longer words? Do patterns still hold?
With multisyllable words, it gets more complex. Suffixes can actually shift the emphasis.
So adding an ending changes the whole rhythm?
It absolutely can. Photograph has first syllable emphasis. Photographic shifts it to the third.
That's a significant change. It makes memorizing words harder.
It creates a common trap for non-native speakers. They may apply the base word's rhythm.
How can you learn these complex prominence shifts then?
Listening for patterns is key. Pay attention to context and word form.
It sounds like another layer of difficulty after learning individual sounds.
It is. And sometimes, even native speakers can differ regionally on this. It's not uniform.
So there's no single correct way for every word?
Generally, there is a standard. But regional differences exist. This adds to the challenge.
Misplacing it can definitely hinder communication. Moving past single words, what about entire statements?
Now we're entering the realm of overall speech melody. The emphasis in sentences is vital.
You mean how certain words get more prominence in a phrase?
Exactly. How emphasis in sentences changes what's important. It steers the listener's focus.
So, if I say, I bought a new car, that means something specific.
Yes, focusing on new implies the car wasn't old. It provides new information.
What if I said, I bought a new car?
That implies a contrast. Perhaps you didn't steal it. Or you bought it, didn't lease it.
So the same words, different emphasis, completely different implication.
Precisely. Speakers often struggle to identify the most crucial word in a sentence.
This must make understanding difficult if the emphasis is off.
It absolutely does. It can lead to misinterpretations, or simply sound unnatural.
Are there rules for which words to emphasize in a sentence?
Content words usually receive emphasis. Nouns, main verbs, adjectives, adverbs. Function words rarely do.
So the A is of usually get less focus.
That's right. They are reduced or blended. Emphasizing them can sound robotic or stressed.
What if I want to highlight a function word? This is the car I want.
Then you can. But it's usually for contrast or specific focus. It's a deliberate choice.
So default is content words. But it can be overridden for specific effect.
Correct. But overemphasizing every word sounds jarring. It creates listening fatigue.
Finding that balance sounds tricky. How much is too much?
It's a common struggle. Many learners put too much emphasis everywhere. This obscures the meaning.
Are there specific challenges when speaking quickly?
Yes, when speech speeds up, maintaining correct sentence emphasis is even harder. Everything blurs.
So it's not just about getting the main point across. It's about natural rhythm.
It truly impacts the natural flow. It contributes to sounding fluent and understandable.
This isn't something one learns from individual word lists. It's global.
It requires holistic listening. It means absorbing the overall melody of the language.
And that melody, I suppose, leads us into the broader patterns of speech.
Yes, it does. The rising and falling tones in speech are absolutely critical. This is the speech melody.
You mean the pitch changes we make when we talk?
Precisely. These patterns convey information. They signal questions or finality.
So a rising tone usually means a question?
Often, yes. You're coming, with a rising pitch. It seeks confirmation.
And a falling tone indicates a statement, an answer?
Typically, it does. You're coming with a falling pitch. It implies certainty.
What if I use the wrong tone? Say, a falling tone for a question?
It can sound abrupt or even rude. It might imply you're not actually asking.
Or a rising tone for a statement. Does that sound hesitant?
It can. It might sound like you're unsure, or questioning your own statement.
Are there other tone patterns besides rising and falling?
There's also a fall-rise tone. This often indicates uncertainty or continuation.
Like, it's interesting, with a hint of doubt.
Exactly. It leaves an impression of unspoken information. It's very nuanced.
So mastering these tones is essential for conveying subtle meaning.
Absolutely. Misinterpreting or misusing them leads to awkward conversations. It's a significant barrier.
Are there regional differences in these tone patterns too?
There can be, yes. Some English varieties use more rising tones in statements. It's another layer of complexity.
So what sounds natural in one place might sound odd elsewhere.
It's a challenge. Learners need to attune their ears to the specific dialect they wish to speak.
This must be hard for people who mainly read English.
It's a huge hurdle. They often miss these auditory cues. They only see the words.
So just knowing the grammar isn't enough for natural speech.
Far from it. The melody of speech is often subconscious. It's not something you consciously construct.
It seems like listening intently is the only way to pick this up.
Imitation and exposure are crucial. You need to absorb the patterns over time.
Understanding these melodic shifts brings us to how words physically connect.
Indeed. When words smoothly connect, it's called smooth connection. It's vital for natural delivery.
You mean how words run into each other, not as separate blocks?
Precisely. Fluent speech doesn't have pauses between every word. Words flow together.
Is this where the ending sound of one word affects the beginning of the next?
Often, yes. For example, an apple often sounds like an apple. The N connects.
So red apple becomes reed apple?
That's a good example of how a consonant links to a vowel. It's very common.
What about vowel-to-vowel connections? Do they just merge?
Sometimes. Or a small linking sound, like a Y or W, is inserted. For example, go out becomes go out.
Or an I am becomes I am?
Yes, often implicitly. It smooths the transition. It prevents choppy speech.
Why is this so difficult for non-native speakers to master?
They often pronounce each word distinctly. They may not recognize these natural blends.
It sounds like they're reading, not speaking naturally.
Exactly. This can make them sound hesitant. It disrupts the natural rhythm of conversation.
Are there specific rules to learn for connecting words?
There are patterns. Consonant to vowel, vowel to vowel, consonant to consonant. It takes awareness.
What about connecting words that end and start with the same sound?
Like hot tea? You don't say two T sounds. They often merge into one longer sound.
So big girl becomes big L with a longer G?
Correct. It's not distinct repetition. It's a subtle lengthening or merging of the sound.
Failing to connect sounds makes speech sound very stilted then.
It definitely does. It impacts intelligibility. It hinders understanding for listeners.
So it's not just about sounding natural, it helps comprehension.
It is crucial for both. Smooth flow aids processing. It makes speech less effortful to decode.
These connections make the actual sounds change, don't they?
They do. And this leads us to how sounds transform to match their neighbors. It's sound blending.
You mean like when two sounds influence each other?
Yes, when sounds blend into neighbors. It's called assimilation. The mouth prepares for the next sound.
Can you give an example of this sound blending?
Consider handbag. Often, the sound changes to abe. It becomes handbag.
Because the beat is a bilabial sound, made with both lips.
Exactly. The mouth anticipates the b. It's easier to produce mb than nb.
So it's an efficiency thing, making speech easier?
It is. Another example is 10 cars. Then can become an ng sound. 10 cars.
Because the case sound in cars is also velar, like ing?
Precisely. The tongue moves to the back of the mouth early. It prepares for the k.
These changes happen without us even realizing it.
They are largely unconscious for native speakers. But they pose a huge hurdle for learners.
Why is it difficult? Because they try to pronounce each sound distinctly?
Yes. They're often taught isolated sounds. They miss how sounds interact in real speech.
So if they say 10 cars with a clean, it sounds unnatural.
It does. It's too precise. It breaks the natural flow of spoken English.
Are there common mistakes with these sound blends?
Many learners fail to assimilate at all. Or they over-assimilate, creating new errors.
Like changing sounds when they shouldn't?
Exactly. Finding the correct balance is tough. It requires very keen listening.
This is a very advanced pronunciation challenge.
It's a sign of true fluency. It demonstrates an understanding of the rhythm and mechanics of speech.
So, not only do sounds connect, but they also change. What about sounds disappearing entirely?
That happens often. Sounds disappearing in rapid speech is called elision. Weak sounds often vanish.
Like saying camera instead of camera? Dropping a vowel?
That's a great example. The middle vowel often disappears. It becomes camera.
Or chocolate often becomes chocolate.
Yes, the middle O is often omitted. It's a very common form of elision.
Are consonants also dropped sometimes?
Absolutely. In phrases like next to, the T in next often vanishes. It becomes next to.
Or don't know sounding like dunno?
Perfect example. The T and sometimes the K are greatly reduced. Or completely dropped.
Why do these sounds disappear? Again, for efficiency?
Exactly. It simplifies the articulation. It makes rapid speech easier to produce.
But this must make things very confusing for learners.
It's incredibly difficult. They expect to hear every sound. They struggle to parse words.
They might not even recognize the word if sounds are missing.
That's a major challenge. It impacts listening comprehension significantly. They hear gaps.
Are there specific sounds that are more prone to being dropped?
Stops like T and D are common. Also unstressed vowels. Especially in multisyllable words.
So, another aspect of natural speech that's not explicitly taught.
Often not. Learners must actively listen for these omissions. Then try to mimic them.
But mimicking incorrectly could lead to mispronunciations.
It could. Over-eliding can make speech unclear. It needs to be natural, not forced.
So finding the right amount of sound dropping is key.
It is. It's a nuanced skill. It takes careful observation and practice to master.
Speaking of sounds reducing, what about those small, less important words?
Yes. The reduction of function words. These are often pronounced in their weak forms. This makes them less prominent.
You mean words like to, for, or of, a?
Exactly. They rarely carry strong emphasis. They're usually said very quickly.
So I'm going to the store doesn't sound like to is a full syllable.
No. To becomes to or just tar. For becomes fur. These are their weak forms.
And of sounds like vuv, for, da.
Precisely. This is very common. Emphasizing these words sounds unnatural unless for specific reasons.
Why is this difficult for learners? Do they overpronounce them?
Often, yes. They use the full, strong form of the word. They're taught to, not to.
So their speech sounds very deliberate and slow, not natural.
It does. It also disrupts the rhythm. It places undue emphasis on less important words.
Are there many function words that have these weak forms?
Most common articles, prepositions, conjunctions, and auxiliary verbs have weak forms. It's a vast group.
So it's not just a few words, but a whole category of them.
Indeed. Mastering these weak forms is essential for sounding native-like. It's a big hurdle.
And if you don't use them, your speech sounds quite stiff.
It does. It also makes your strong words less impactful. Everything sounds equally important.
So, it's about hierarchy in speech. Which words deserve attention?
Absolutely. It's about distributing emphasis intelligently. It guides the listener.
It sounds like another thing that's caught by listening, not by rules.
It's mostly by exposure. Rules help, but ear training is paramount here.
So, from words shrinking to words blending, and now words weakening. What about words from other languages?
Foreign loanword pitfalls. English has adopted words from everywhere. They often retain original pronunciation.
Like rendezvous from French or kindergarten from German.
Yes. The challenge is they don't follow typical English pronunciation rules. They retain their original sounds.
So you can't just apply English phonics to them?
That's a common mistake. People try to anglicize the pronunciation. This can sound very awkward.
Like trying to say the ch linf chutzpah as in for cheese?
Exactly. It's a Yiddish word. The ch sound is guttural, from the back of the throat.
So you need to know the origin to get it right?
Often, yes. Or at least be aware it's a non-English word. Then research its specific sound.
Are there consistent rules for how English adapts these words?
Not always. Some are fully assimilated. Others retain distinct foreign sounds. It's inconsistent.
So ballet still has a somewhat French sound, but restaurant is more anglicized?
That's a good observation. Restaurant has largely conformed. Ballet still has a more distinct T sound often.
This means simply reading the spelling won't help.
It's often misleading. You must learn their pronunciation individually. It's a memory challenge.
And if you don't know it's a foreign word, you'll probably get it wrong.
Almost certainly. It's a major source of mispronunciation for many learners.
Are these words common in everyday English?
Yes, very. From pizza to feng shui. They are integrated into daily conversation.
So this isn't just an academic problem. It's practical.
Absolutely. Knowing how to pronounce these terms correctly aids communication and confidence.
It adds another layer of unpredictability to English pronunciation.
It certainly does. It breaks the expected phonetic patterns. It forces individual learning.
Beyond everyday foreign words, what about very specialized language?
Precisely. Medical terms often require extreme precision. Mispronunciation can be critical.
Why are medical words particularly difficult?
They're often derived from Latin or Greek. They have complex syllable structures. And many silent letters.
So similar to the loanword problem, but even more specialized?
Yes, and with higher stakes. Mispronouncing diagnosis could impact clarity significantly.
What about long, multisyllabic terms like otorhinolaryngologist?
Those are exceptionally challenging. They require careful breakdown of each part. Each syllable needs attention.
Is there a risk of sounding unprofessional if you mispronounce them?
Definitely. In a medical context, precision is paramount. It affects credibility.
Do they follow different stress patterns than regular English words?
Often, yes. Their classical origins can dictate stress. They don't always conform to English patterns.
So analgesic doesn't follow the same rules as fantastic?
No, not necessarily. You can't assume a pattern. Many have specific historical pronunciations.
Is there a common type of error with medical vocabulary?
Many struggle with the obscure combinations of letters. Also, unfamiliar root words and prefixes.
So you need to learn not just the word, but its etymology too.
Understanding the roots can help. It can unlock the pronunciation. But it's still a steep learning curve.
This is a very specific challenge for those in the medical field.
It's absolutely essential for them. It's a specialized skill. It requires dedicated study.
It's a barrier for anyone wanting to enter a medical profession.
It certainly is. It's not just understanding the terms, but speaking them correctly and confidently.
Beyond medicine, what about other complex fields?
Technical jargon accuracy is also crucial. Mispronouncing technical terms can lead to significant misunderstandings.
Like terms in engineering or computer science.
Exactly. Algorithm or paradigm. They are common but still tricky for many.
And the stress can be tricky, like database versus database.
Yes. Even within technical terms, there can be subtle variations. Consistency is important.
Are these often new words, or just highly specialized ones?
Often newly coined terms, or terms adopted from other fields. They might not have established norms.
So sometimes there isn't even a universally agreed upon pronunciation yet?
That's a very good point. New tech terms evolve quickly. Pronunciation can be debated.
This must be particularly frustrating for learners.
It is. They want clear rules. But for emerging jargon, those rules are still forming.
So checking a dictionary might not even help sometimes.
Sometimes not immediately. You might need to listen to experts in that specific field.
And different experts might say it differently?
That's a possibility. It's a nuanced area. It requires staying current with terminology.
Are there specific sounds common in technical jargon that are tricky?
Often long, compound words. Or words with unusual consonant clusters. Like synergy or ubiquitous.
These words aren't just hard to spell, but also to say.
Their complexity comes from structure. It requires careful parsing and memory. It's a mental hurdle.
So, similar to medical terms, but perhaps with even more ambiguity.
Potentially, yes. The lack of historical precedent adds to the difficulty. It's a dynamic challenge.
From technical terms, what about names of people and places?
Proper nouns pose unique challenges due to regional variance. Place names particularly vary widely.
Like Edinburgh in Scotland or Leicester in England.
Exactly. Their spellings don't reflect pronunciation. They follow local historical patterns.
So you can't guess them from the spelling at all.
Absolutely not. Louisville, Kentucky, versus Louisville, Georgia, sound different. Even within the US.
And names of people, like Siobhan or Niamh from Irish.
Those are notorious for being counterintuitive to English speakers. They require specific knowledge.
So if you meet someone with an unusual name, you just have to ask.
It's often the best approach. Relying on spelling is a trap. It leads to offense.
Mispronouncing a person's name can be quite rude.
It's definitely perceived as disrespectful. It makes people feel unheard. It creates tension.
And place names in news reports? They must be hard for anchors.
Journalists often train for this. They consult local guides. It's a professional necessity.
So there's no general rule for proper nouns, just individual learning?
Mostly individual learning. And sensitivity. It's about respecting the origin.
This is a significant barrier for anyone interacting internationally.
It is. It impacts diplomacy, travel, and personal relationships. It creates awkwardness.
So, not just about meaning, but social grace too.
Absolutely. It's a crucial aspect of cultural competence. It shows respect for identity.
Thinking back to word structure, what about word endings?
Indeed. Suffixes often alter word emphasis. This is another major source of pronunciation difficulty.
We touched on photograph and photographic earlier.
Yes, that's a prime example. The suffix ic often pulls the emphasis to the syllable before it.
So economy versus l'economic?
Perfect. Economy has second syllable emphasis.
We've covered word stress and connected speech thoroughly.
Yes, those nuances are crucial for clarity.
Understanding theory is one thing.
Applying it practically is another challenge.
How do we actually master these tricky sounds?
It is about active, consistent application.
So, what's the very first step?
Start by tuning your listening skills.
What does that entail precisely?
It means becoming a pronunciation detective.
What does being a detective involve?
You listen for specific sound patterns.
Like what kind of patterns?
Pay attention to the subtle differences.
Minimal pairs, for instance?
Exactly, like /ship versus /sheep.
Or /bat/ and /bad/.
Yes, listen closely to the final consonant.
How does one train for this?
Focus on short audio clips.
From native speakers only?
Ideally, yes, diverse voices too.